Let's unpack those market movements as well as the reaction on the Reserve Bank's announcement with Grant Nader from Benguela Global Fund Managers. Thank you very much for your time this evening. And let's start with the market performance on the JSE today. Not much reaction in terms of what came out of the Reserve Bank. The rand weakening actually instead of what one would expect. Your thoughts on today's market performance and really just how the market absorbed what came out of the Reserve Bank?
Thank you. Good evening. Really, it was a very quiet day. We saw the all share fluctuating slightly positive and slightly negative. The moves on the day really dominated by the miners and some of the mega caps like Naspers, Prosus, and Richmond, leading the market lower in the morning. And we had the Reserve Bank announcement that came out. There was some reaction, a little bit of a pop in some of the financials and the retailers, but it was fairly muted. They did hold on to some of those gains into the close, but gave back a little bit. I don't think there was quite enough conviction in the move and in the conversation to change the investment case completely at this point.
Yeah, and let's get into those mining companies that we've got a couple that released some trading statements today. Kumba saying sales are likely to be lower by about 1 million tons. Transnet at the center of that logistic nightmare. Anglo American, an overall look, higher production except in the PGM market, but also citing a tougher trading environment. What did you make of the updates that we got today?
I was actually quite happy with the updates. I think given the numerous challenges that some of these companies are facing. So I think first of all, Kumba maintained their yearly production guidance, and the biggest challenge actually came from the rail issues and getting their product to port for export. Production itself was not too bad given the context of load shedding and the challenges there. So I thought that was a fairly decent update, and Anglo's across the board maintained their guidance across all sectors, and they seem to navigate the load shedding impact fairly well across the group. They ramped up operations in Peru, so driving the copper production there. Diamond sales are more or less in line. Platinum, it was challenged, but they didn't point to load shedding accounting for a huge amount of the drop in production. So, I'm actually quite encouraged by what I saw, to be honest. And I think if you take into context that load shedding could improve from here, I'm not sure about the rail situation and the Transnet situation, however, but at the margin, there could be slightly better outlook for the production numbers from here.
Yeah, and of course, them citing their recent deal in Botswana, that Botswana also going to be proving to be quite positive in terms of revenue for them. And then finally, Grant Karoo, those are the owners of Cartrack. They putting out a solid set of numbers in the first quarter of their financial year. What did you make of that? I mean, subscriber growth was actually quite impressive for the group.
A very good set of numbers. This is a company I think is a very underappreciated company, and partly because it's highly illiquid as a stock. So very few institutions can own it, even if they want to. So it was a very solid update. Net subscriber additions very strong, revenue growth strong, cash growth, cash flow increasing. So all the key metrics coming through. It's a company that's investing for growth in Southeast Asia as well. I like it. I think it's a good business. I think they're doing good things in good places. But again, it's sort of off the radar, and it kind of falls into the lap of the private investor, I would think.
No, absolutely. Grant, as always, thank you very much for your time this evening. That is Grant Nader from Benguela Global Fund Managers. And that's